So Ben, can you tell us about the Skoog? What actually is it?
The Skoog is a new musical instrument that's been created specifically for children or adults with physical or learning difficulties. It's a whole package of software and a physical instrument itself called the Skoog, which is this little bad boy here. It's a soft, tactile interface, and with this children can access music making in a whole range of different ways.
And so, why is music important for everyone?
Music is part of our human kind of social development. All children have a natural musical kind of culture that they sing and dance spontaneously, and it's how we grow and how we learn to communicate, and it supports that. But for children with disabilities, that can be cut off from them and really impact on their development. And so one of the things that we're really passionate about is giving children that musical voice back, and giving them access to a musical world and a culture they can share to help support their development and their growth.
Now, the shape of the Skoog is really interesting. You know, it's got these curves and it's a cube. How did you come up with that shape?
Well, because initially with the research we were tasked with creating a musical instrument for individuals who can't use traditional instruments. And so we had to really start from scratch and try and create an object that was designed for human contact. So it's the three-dimensional object as opposed to a two-dimensional keyboard and these kind of things, which is really provides much more interaction possibilities. And because the Skoog itself, the sensor, doesn't make a sound, it's something you interact with, and the computer is creating the sound. The sensor can be any shape that we like, and so we created a shape that was inviting, tactile, soft to touch, something designed for human contact, and something which people would find easy to use and be drawn to.
I noticed that when you were playing it before, that squeezing it gives it a slightly different sound to when you tap it and that as well.
Yeah, so I mean, it's one of the things that's quite an important point is that it's not a switch. It's a dynamic, tactile controller, and it can read information from lots of different planes of movement. So you can control the sound in different ways. So with certain instruments you can blow, and then you can control the shape of the lips and how they're blowing it on the kind of virtual flute that you're playing. Or it can be lots of different instruments. And how you interact with the Skoog really is reflected in the sound that's created. So you have a physical bond with the sounds that you're making, very much like a real acoustic instrument.
Oh wow! Would you like to be able to show us what we can do with the Skoog?
Yeah, I can play a little something for you.
That'd be great.
So here we go. I'll just software. So this is Skoog. One other important thing about it is it's sensitive everywhere. So if I touch the surrounding surfaces as well as the button, it can make a sound. So that provides different interaction possibilities for children. The other thing is you select an instrument. So here we've got flute selected, and we have a different note assigned to each surface. So I can play a scale like that. Now the other thing that's different about a Skoog is it's 5 notes at a time. It has 5 surfaces. Now they can be any 5 notes, but it does work very well with pentatonic scales. The traditional instruments have all of the notes inside of them all of the time, and we have to make decisions about which ones to use, which ones are right, and for the piece of music. Whereas with the Skoog, you load a set of notes on that are right for you at that time. It's about reducing the complexity of the instrument to make it free people up to be more creative. So I can choose scales. Let's choose a different scale. Let's here. Or I can change notes individually and do them myself, so it doesn't have to be a pentatonic scale. Here we go. Do that and save that off. And so I can actually load in notes for a particular melody. So let's do something simple to start with. Maybe do a little.
So the kids don't need to be able to read music, but as long as they recognise colours.
Yeah. So I mean, well, you can play either by using colour, or you can just play by ear, play freely and kind of improvise. It really frees people up to be creative. So I'm going to load in the notes for Old MacDonald. So. Now I know which sequence to press, but I can actually, as well, we can present those colours on screen or on paper. And we can change the size of that. So now we can have, so it's telling me to play yellow, yellow, yellow. And as I play, it listens listens to me.
Yep. And I noticed you got different lengths for some of those colours too.
So it's a very concrete representation. So the longer the colour representation, it's saying play for longer.
So in some cases, it's also a pre-reading activity.
Yes, it definitely do that. It's very good for sensory integration. And actually, in reference to things like reading, one of the things that teachers asked us to do is that we love the Skoog, we love music with it, but they would like to put their own sounds on it and use it for different cross-curricular things. So we said, okay, let's have a look at the software and see if we can do that. And there's a sampling element to the software. So here we can actually record any sound we like in. So if I just click record and say, hello, and there's my voice. And we should now have, hello. My voice on the orange.
Yep.
Now we can do that with phonemes, we can do that with sentences, we can do it using sound effects, animal noises, stuff for narrative work. There's really a whole range of different things that teachers have started using it for.
Because one of the literacy programs I know that's big here is Jolly Phonics, where they have songs that the students sing as part of a repetition process and learning sounds. So we could program
we could record those on, or we
phonic sounds.
Different phonic sounds, and you can start to create words and parts, with the Skoog. And again, you're engaging in a multi-sensory activity. You're using physical movement, you're using sound.
Yep.
You can involve colour and vision as well. So it really is
So the possibilities are endless.
They are indeed, and we're really excited because we're getting feedback from teachers now since the Skoog is starting to be used quite widely, and they're telling us what they want and how to use it differently, and resources are building up. And on our Skoog Music website, we have lots of free resources like lesson plans or loops packs or backing tracks, things like that we're providing that people are asking for or people are sharing with other people, and that's what we really want to create, a community of learners and people doing different things.
And so we could have a whole band made of Skoogs.
I do hope so. Yes, and we're starting to see the first kind of Skoog ensembles coming through, and in the UK, I have to fly back quickly, but in July we're going to see our first public performances of a Skoog trio and Skoog playing in different ways.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks very much.